Welcome back to BVarsity Live. Zach and Trevor here now with Stockdale's volleyball team. I was once accused, by the way, of being a Stockdale High School graduate.
You've been accused of being.
I've been accused of being a lot
school.
of. The truth is, I did not go to high school in Bakersfield. I never stepped foot in Bakersfield until about a month before I started the job here in 2007. So I promise this is not favoritism. We're just going with the news, and Stockdale happens to be pretty hot right now, so that's where we're at. Cameron Rowell.
And it's never a bad day to have Maria in studio.
Thank you.
Macy Haddad, and did I say it right?
Yeah.
I'm getting the emphasis wrong sometimes. And Maria Kolatz there on the end.
Well, we
is
can tell
the
where
Mustangs
you
coach.
haven't bought a car from.
No, but that's the thing is you get it in your head and you start thinking, I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
People probably screw it up all the time, right? And well, volleyball season is already. I mean, we're only a couple weeks away from league play. All of a sudden, you guys have already been going for a while. You got the big Clovis tournament this weekend. Let's start with you, Coach. You brought almost everything back from last year. That's a good place to start. It doesn't win you any trophies or anything, but it's a good place to start.
It's a good place to start, but I would definitely say this is a brand new team. We have a different look. We have a different attitude. We have a different, just about everything about this team is different.
Is that by design?
Absolutely. I mean, I just feel like last year didn't go smooth. It wasn't a smooth year for Stockdale. And I just felt like that had to start at the top with me, and we needed to make some changes and go in a better direction. And from the get-go, from day one, this team has been a different dynamic and a different move.
It sounds, I'm just kind of reading between the lines, but more positive dynamic. I mean, what can you give us a change specifically you would make to sort of make that happen?
There's certain words we use a lot. Like one of them is energy. You need to bring energy to the game. You need to bring energy to the court. Things like when we step in the gym for practice, it's time to do work. You know, a lot of times with girls, you can get that easily sidetracked into, oh, that was funny, or this was that. You can lose the momentum and
Yeah,
the
that
energy.
happens with Trevor too.
Yeah, and the energy. And, I felt like last year we had a lot of that. We had a lot of little falling off of just energy, not anything negative, but just not that drive. And I said from the get-go this year, and I pulled in Cameron, and I pulled in Macy, and I said this isn't going to happen alone. This is going to be a team effort, but I want to go a different direction, and they didn't even flinch, and it's been a ball of energy literally since.
She says you guys didn't flinch. Macy, how difficult or easy was it to sort of institute that change with the team?
I was excited for it. I mean, change is good. I was kind of prepared. My club coach kind of helped me, with the mental aspect. We're going, staying positive and positive talk. So.
How about you, Cameron?
Yeah, I agree. I was up for it. I really wanted change. Like last year, it was kind of hard, but this year it's way better, and it's so much more positive, and we're going in the right direction.
And I would think once you start going in that direction, it snowballs in a good way, right? I mean, you sort of get going.
Yeah.
Can you tell the difference on the court? I mean, when you're out there playing.
Yeah, I definitely feel like you can tell a great difference, because last year I just felt it was just, I don't know, we just needed to really fix it, and it's just way more positive and way better.
Well, let's say, Macy, last year somebody screws something up, point goes bad, somebody's out of position, bad dig, whatever the case, bad pass, whatever the case might be. How would you react last year as opposed to this year? Those things happen all the time in volleyball, we know, but I mean, how has the reaction changed?
Last year, I would try to move on, but it was kind of difficult. I didn't want it to snowball, keep going. But this year, I react it's okay. Next ball, we're gonna get the next one. We got it. More positive. Yeah.
Is that part of what it is, Coach? Is how you respond to those negative situations when something does go wrong?
Oh, absolutely. One of the things we say all the time now, there's nothing more important than the now. There's nothing you can do about anything that's in the past. For example, that bad dig you just talked about. It's done. There's nothing we can do about that bad dig. Let it go, and it's in the now right now. What are we going to do the next play, and how are we going to go the other direction? And we've been working a lot on, Macy mentioned, the mental part of the game. Things, truthfully, back in my day, and I'm kind of aging myself here, but I had a lot of positive self-talk when I was young. I was told by my, parents and coaches and stuff, you can do anything you want to do. I don't know that if you say that to kids these days, they really believe that. It has to almost be taught. And that's kind of the thing we're starting to do now. I'm starting to teach them, you can do anything you want to do. We can do this. We can definitely move into the positive and into the now. Stay right now in this play. That is the only thing you can control.
Well, and yeah, one of the things you can't control is how good everybody else is, and you happen to play in a pretty good league, as Trevor can tell you.
Jeez, yeah. I mean, Maria, when you look at this league and kind of top to bottom, you've been in it for a while, and there was top heavy the last few years, but when you look at BHS is young and talented, Garces obviously very good with a very good setter, and you look at obviously yourselves, you look at Central. Steve Bentley might have his best team at Frontier this year, and you look at the Liberty team that brought back everything. I mean, you obviously don't take a night off, and I know you're going to say that right now, but how much of what you're doing now, and especially this weekend and prepping up in September, gears you for 2 nights of battle every week for 4 weeks?
Everything we do is in the now. So that's kind of what we're getting at is we can't really. This league is going to be a battle, and truthfully, I love it. I love getting out there and making.
We love it too. It's awesome.
Yeah, having the girls compete and everything is important. But again, we're working on the now. So we've got to build from where we are right now to that league atmosphere, and that's our goal. That's our goal, is to take care of business in the moment we're in.
Macy, you guys see each other obviously in the club scene. You see all these other players from all the other teams in town. What excites you the most about this league season coming up? And I know you guys got a few more weeks to go before then, but what excites you about playing in the SWIL this year?
I don't know. I think it's just like the way, like, I don't know. It's just so fun. I love playing my friends. I love playing. It just gives you this, like, excitement. Like, I can't explain it. It's so much fun. It's awesome.
I think you hit it right on the head because, and Mace, you can probably speak to this too, but so many girls on the other teams because it's like the cross-pollination from clubs and youth programs and travel ball team. I mean, it's like playing a rival every single night.
Yeah, it is, and especially when you know them, it's like you want to play harder because you played with them and now you're playing against them, and you want to play harder. So.
Sort of prove that you have the upper hand at least on that night. So. Well, Maria, tell us about the Clovis tournament this weekend. We talked about it a little bit in the opening. It's so early in the season, and you're playing these best of 3 matches. It's going to affect seeding in November. There's no doubt about it. I mean, these are really important games.
No, it always affects seeding.
Yeah.
Because it might be the only opportunity you see them before seeding is this very first tournament out of the blocks. So it will affect seeding, and again, it makes what we're doing now important. And that's one of the things I say to my girls. I haven't said it yet this year, but these two have heard it before. Unfortunately, these things can come back to either get us or help us, these Clovis tournaments. So, we're going to just concentrate one step at a time. We open up with BCHS as our first match up there at Clovis, and that's what we're going into practice with, that as our mindset, and then we're just going to build from there.
And they've proven how good they are so far, too. I think 3-0, Trevor, 4-0 now. I think
4-0 now.
Yeah, they beat Centennial.
You got Bishop Gorman on the. I'm looking here. You've got Heritage. You look at Mount Whitney's in there. I mean,
all good schools.
Yeah, you've got I mean, just in your pool right there. I mean, there's no other D1 team in the Central section, but a lot of teams are going to give you a lot of good looks. How exciting is that to be able to get that look and kind of see, exactly where you guys are?
It is. That's why I like tournaments, because you can see adversity right at the beginning. How's your team going to handle that adversity when they're down? How are you going to recover if you're down? All those kinds of things that you can just kind of learn from those long, exhausting tournaments.
Well, and that first set matters so much more because you've only got a best of 3.
Yeah.
That's the thing is you could gain or lose a seed real quick up there. I mean, that's the way it works. Before we let you girls go, we talked a lot about the mental side of things. On the court, what is Stockdale volleyball to you? Where are your strengths and the type of volleyball you want to play, Cameron?
I feel like our team, like, we bonded really well this year, and I feel like our talk is way better, and we're way more positive, and I just feel like it's just going to be a great season.
And on the court, Macy, I know the block has always been a big part, it seems like, at Stockdale. That's just the type of players you get, Maria, it seems like. And I know you're part of that, too. How much pride do you take in that?
I take a lot of pride. I mean, I want to block every ball, but I know it's not possible. But I keep working, getting better, and it's fun, yeah.
Yeah, and you can do anything you want. So you can block every ball. That's part of this message here, right? Theoretically.
Absolutely,
yeah. I mean, we're not putting any limits on anything right now. Coach, let's say you have the last word. How good can this team be? It sounds like everything so far has gone the right way, but you really haven't gotten that far yet. So how good in your mind can they be?
I think this team could do extremely well this year. I'm not going to put a number on it or anything, but the nice thing also about this team is we're deeper. We're deeper, and that helps too, because when you have different looks in different positions and different times, and it always makes it a little bit harder to defend. So there's a lot of different aspects about this team besides the energy and the positive and the going in the right direction. Physically, we're a deeper team, which also helps too.
Real quick, we have to go to break, but we asked Brett Shelton this. We'll ask you too from a volleyball perspective. Letting the 8 schools from the Central Coast area that want to come into the Central section, Arroyo Grande, Atascadero, SLO. I don't know if you heard about this. Good idea, bad idea in your mind? I mean, obviously it makes things tougher, but that can be a good thing too.
I haven't really thought about it from a volleyball perspective. I mean, I'm not opposed to having bigger or more competition. I think that's a good thing. So if letting them in is going to help that, I'm good with it. I don't know about the other dynamics of letting
Travel
them into into CIF, which I am a part of CIF, so I know that that's always a consideration.
Right.
But I mean, it'll be interesting to see how that all turns out.
Well, as Trevor said earlier, we will take more trips to the beach, and so we're all for it. Well, hey, Stockdale Volleyball, Cameron, Macy, and Coach, we appreciate you being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. We're going to wrap things up after this on BVarsity Live.